Well, we're riding here at Coba. This is how we get from ruin to ruin. It's riding on the bicycles. It's a lot of fun. They're great bikes too. No suspension.
That at some point are going to be restored that tell us the precise history of this man. Now I mention this because these large stones with the engravings on it are what archaeologists are now looking for. When the Spanish arrived to these areas, the Spanish found writings. The stairs as a terrestrial and the ground represents the infraworld. Now, this particular temple that we're looking at right now is the oldest one at this site. This particular temple dates from 200 AD and on. Can you guys see some of the coloring up top? First of all, can you see some of that blue and some red up top on the stucco? First of all of these structures, can you see the limestone? This is all limestone. All of these squares are limestone. And if you notice, they're cemented or pasted together. I point that out because if you guys ever go to Machu Picchu, for example, or the Incas, their stones are placed perfectly right on top of each other, but they don't have any form of cement. They're going to decapitate me. They're going to cut my head off, place my head in the center of the court on top of the skull image. They're going to have a shaman or a nobleman. He's going to place honey on the neck, and they're going to put ants to eat out all the flesh. So literally, they're going to eat all the gooey stuff, and you're going to have just the image of the skull. Why would they care about that image? Because the Mayans, instead of taking pictures like we do, they would remember important personages with the carving of the image of the skull. Means large, muul means mound. So the large mound, this is what the natives were calling this building because it's just a hill surrounded by trees, as you can see the backside. When archaeologists got here and started excavating it. In reality, this is a temple for what is known as a god. A later representation of the god of the feathered serpent, over time, they started imaging him differently. He started being imaged as a man coming from the top. Can you see his legs going upward? And he has feathers in his body and serpent scale on his body, known as the descending god. Itzamna Kukulkan. Now this is important, guys. This image appears as of the 200s AD and on, a later representation for Kukulkan. Kukulkan was the god of the feathered serpent. We've known of him forever. And then we start imaging him as Itzamna, the god who descended from the heavens, creator of heaven and earth, with the symbology of feathered serpent. It's very parallel to like the Bible. In the Bible, we have Jehovah, known as the great I am, the Alpha, the Omega, creator of heaven and earth. But as time develops, he comes to this earth, and we start calling him Jesus the Christ, or Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's okay. This is on top of the main temple of Coba.
No way, I'm not going down. Not that way.
I don't want to just take like 5 seconds and I'll one right.
When you do one white.
This temple sits at about 150 feet from the top down to the floor. As you can tell, it's very steep.
Thanks so much.
Selfie. Riding along. Having lots of fun. Allison's having fun too. We're about done with our little tour.
Only for the sun, but also for the moon, for the planets, for the stars. In the late 70s, NASA scientists considered the Mayas actually the best astronomers of the ancient world. Better than the Egyptians, better than the Chinese, and better than other ancient cultures. So the Mayas were known for that. They're recognized for the best ancient astronomers. Okay. Now, the rainy season.
That square right there, he has a spring equinox.
So the people
The
outside
sun will shine through that.
you know, excited
In the morning.
because the rain is coming, so they would bring offerings.
Does it happen in the fall too?
Okay, that's the solstice. The
It
solstice.
shines on that flat stone
Okay, there's another marker on your side
right
for
there.
them to know when it was time to turn. Okay, it's time to do the harvest. All right, and bring. Isla Mujeres. Isla Mujeres had a different name, but that's how Hernán Cortés named it, because there's a temple dedicated to Ixchel. Ixchel, there's also a temple dedicated to this goddess, we will see later. Okay, this goddess is known as the fertility private beaches today, but in that time it was not that. Okay, all right. So this is what they use, but there's also another beach on their side. Okay, so let's go continue this way, please. If I show you the drawings, this would look like this. You see? You see the man descending, big arm, right? So this is like a later name for this guy. The guy that descended from heaven as a man. That's the fulfillment of a prophecy.
So were the serpent and the feather one, was that before
Yes.
the time of Christ?
Before the time of Christ, it's like the pre-classic time. But then during the classic and the post-classic time, the feather serpent god is also known as a man that descended from heaven, or as a white-bearded man, as a main priest, for example. I have other pictures which is part of what round-shaped pillars, that would be the body of the snake. It's got feathers carved on the body, on the pillar. The rattle should be holding the door beam, and the head of the snake is lying on the floor. So those are the representation of Kukulkan. Alright? Between those two pillars, there should be a square rock, which could be the sacrificial altar. Of course, human sacrifices were also performed here. And right above, there are three niches. The one in the middle represents Itzamna, the descending god. And then we have, on my right, there's another niche with another carving representing Kinich Ahau. Because they cut the chest open and rip the heart out, still beating and offer it to their gods. They would also participate in eating the flesh and drinking the blood. Alright? So pretty much, by then, when the Spanish arrived, they see these performances, of the natives, human sacrifices, but not only of men, but also sacrificing children, sacrificing women. They had also ritual games where they would also perform, like you saw in writing form. Has anybody heard of chiasmus? Chiasmus. What's a chiasmus?
It's a form of writing used in Hebrew that's in the scriptures a lot, where the first verse mirrors the last verse and moves it
Second to
to
the
the
last.
most important point.
Exactly. So that's another easy way for still today, the Hebrews or the Jews learn the scriptures like Isaiah, the Book of Mormon, and so they're sailing along this coast, and guess what? They see a building from the water. They see a cliff and a building, and yes, they're passing by Tulum. Frederick Catherwood was a painter, and John Lloyd Stevens was a lawyer. So this is an actual painting of Frederick Catherwood, what they saw.